Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through the GWS versus Adelaide game to finish off round 7 and to finish off the string of game recaps that we did in a row because of there being no need for all the other videos. I could have probably spurted them in the middle, but yeah, got through all these game recaps, of which there was a lot of them, and this is the last one before we get to all of the trade targets videos, team previews, team reviews, etc. For the fantasy side before we head into round 8, and then also on the weekend on Saturday I sort of expect there to be maybe a BBL Supercoach projections video, given I do have the magic number or something similar to a magic number that should be around the ballpark of it. So I'll be able to show that to you guys and sort of that as well. So that'll be on the Saturday, alongside I think there will be an AFLW sort of off-season update video sort of thing on what I'm doing and sort of how you guys can help out with that one to make it go easier. So that'll be up there on the Saturday. I think those will be the 2 videos there. But anyway, let's jump into this recap for all you AFLW fans out there. GWS versus Adelaide. Beeson, I did talk about this one in the last recap about her being sort of the second most valuable player in the double, aside from the one that's directly to the right of her, Ebony Marinoff. Yeah, she just dominated this game pretty much, other than Marinoff being there. 22 touches, 10 tackles, and she got to a 102. And I was sort of surprised about this. And if it wasn't for a Zali Goldsworthy goal with about 10 seconds to go or something like that, it was very, very late on. Then I would have been really annoyed with my trades, as I don't think I would be able to get to the trades that I got to in the end because of that Goldsworthy goal. That Goldsworthy goal, if you put it into context, that Goldsworthy goal at the end was worth, I think, around about 40k in cash generation or cash loss, I guess, or like net loss, I guess you would almost call it. It saved me that much money, that goal at the end, and that's the difference in my trades this week. Parker, 74, 19 touches, 5 tackles. I wish I'd gone either Beeson or Parker over Goldsworthy, as Parker, I think, took 182 during the double, and Beeson got to 192 during the double. So I think they just scored about 80 odd points on Goldsworthy, but it is what it is. I'm having some fun with my trades to end the year, I guess, in a little bit of a way. Smith, 70. No one really expected her to score 70. I'd actually want to look at the CBAs just to see where she's playing, as I didn't get to watch this game, and also the fact is I don't know who this Catherine Smith is, to be honest with you, and so I'm trying to quickly do some research on this to figure out where she played. She averaged 45 for the year, hasn't really scored anything, playing off halfback, so it's one of those, that makes sense actually now I'm thinking about it logically, right? GWS aren't the greatest side, play probably the 3rd best side in the comp in Adelaide, get smoked, so it's down the defensive end quite a lot more, and then one of your just key defenders or just defenders in general in Catherine Smith scores a lot of points just because it's down there enough that she can do that. Let me just check her height just to see how tall she is, but I would suspect she's probably a key, going off what I'm seeing here. No, 165 centimeters, just a general defender. So just a general defender finally scoring one, probably a lockdown defender generally, and she's just had a lot of tackles there to score some points. And yeah, you can sort of see that's never going to be fancy relevant, just an outlier game. O'Dowd scored a lot of points in the last quarter to get to a 62, which sucks that she only scored 62 in the double and is falling behind Mimstrom even more. But it is what it is. I've sort of, I know that I'm not going to be able to max out my team this year for fantasy just because of all the cash loss because of injuries. But yeah, O'Dowd, she's trailing Strom about 30 or 40 points per week, but it is what it is. And yeah, hopefully she learns how to get more hit outs, because she's been smacked in the hit outs for the last pretty much every single week, but she's really good around the ground. Palga, 61, Brasendale, Eva, Garnett, Mowbray, Gaffney, Pease, Randall, Huntington only a 31. She's probably been a failed trade in now thinking about it, and I think that's probably what epitomised my season now thinking about it. Is trading in these halfbacks, expecting them to do really well just because because the ball's down there, and that doesn't really correlate in the AFLW. And that's just because it isn't really a marking game. It is just solely a tackle game. You'll see it here. 35. There was 74 tackle marks in this game, and there was 150 tackles in the game. So that's a double 2-to-1 ratio there, right there. And that is just the glaring thing I think you see here quite easily is that issue. For those that are in positions that need marks to score, they just do not get that, and she just doesn't get the disposals in general, as it's just a midfield disposal heavy thing. So yeah, that's something that I see drastically in this game, is that the girls that need marks don't really get the scores required. Ramsdale, Grierson, Ransom, Sir Hoy had a shocker for once. Only 46% hold. Did she get injured or something in this game? I just need to double check that. Yeah, she did get injured in this game. I haven't seen the injury report for GWS Giants injury list. Just trying to quickly search it up because I want to see how Sohoy is tracking. Injury list, AFLW maybe something. Do you have AFLW? Doesn't seem to have the woman's injury list, so I don't know about that. Okay, here we go. One sec. Grabbing it up now for Sir Hoy. Will miss the final 3 games with a knee injury. Damage to her PCL, so she's done for the year. And it looks like Indigo Lind is starting to ramp up her training loads so that she can be available for in a couple of weeks' time for round 9. McCormack potentially back next week. Bradfield and Newman are tests, and that's that for the injury list for GWS. So yes, so Hoy, good thing that I did pick that up, that 46% and that 21 in total was due to an injury. So I usually don't pick that stuff up. And then Corey comes to say in the comment section about it. Fleur Davies 16 and Jess Doyle 6. I'm really surprised Jess Doyle isn't able to impact games more often than she is. She seems to always, I think she's averaging like 20 for the year, something like that. So I wonder what's going to happen with her, because she's not able to necessarily impact and hasn't really been able to do it throughout her 4 years now. So I wonder what they're going to do there, because she hasn't kicked a goal all year. And is only really getting 5-6 disposals per game. So that'll be an interesting conversation, I think, at the end of the year. Then we move over to the Marinoff show, and again, led the kicks, led the handballs, led the tackles, not the marks. The marks were actually led by Gould, but yeah, led every one of those 3 categories very, very convincingly, and job done for her. And yeah, so 25 kicks amounts to 75 points, which pretty much outscores 30 or so of these girls. Oh no, probably more. Probably about 35 of these girls. 32 points outscores a good portion of these girls as well. Probably about 10. 17 tackles is 72 points. Like the kicks, that pretty much outscores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then including her, so 6 girls on here, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's 9 out of the 42. So she outscored, out of the 41 remaining girls, she outscored 33 of the girls with tackles and 34 of the girls with her kicks. That's how stupid her scoring is and how good it is. Hatchard, 21 touches, 10 tackles for a 95. She was also a decent option to grab, and one that I'm considering to grab now, given my options. Allen, 93, Gould, Ponta, Thompson, Kelly. You know, the sad part about this is that effectively all these girls are irrelevant. Then you go down to Madison, Newman, and Randall, who I think have very interesting roles and are probably fantasy relevant for the rest of the year. Newman is in that top echelon of the defenders, and Randall in the top echelon of the forwards. So you sort of have this, and they sort of have different roles. Randall starts in the centre bounce and then moves back, whereas Newman doesn't start in the centre bounce and then moves into it. So they sort of share a very similar role, different role, but similar outcomes, I would say, is the best way to describe it. And I think they're both fantasy relevant. I think Chelsea Randall probably has more fantasy relevance given the lack of depth in the forward line comparative to the back line that Maddie Newman is in. But Maddie Newman is also the top scorer in the back line comparative to Chelsea Randall, who's about third or something in the forward line. I don't know exactly, but I would think she's about third. So yeah, I think having both of these girls for the end of the season is probably paramount to scoring well. And I think that I don't know who I'd rank more so than the other in terms of relevance, just because Maddie Newman's outscoring, I think, Chelsea Randall by about 10 points. But Chelsea Randall has about 10 point less gap to get to the... Chelsea Randall's actually averaging 75. And Newman's around that 80 marker. Let's actually go Newman here. Newman, and then go Maddie Newman here, and you'll see, I think, about 77.2. So yeah, I think Chelsea Randall probably, based on that, I thought Chelsea Randall was about that 67, 68 marker. I would say Chelsea Randall just outscores her because I think there's more than a 2.4 point gap in the defenders to the back, to the forward line, in their sort of top 6 to 8 ranges. So I think that's why Chelsea Randall probably takes the cake for more relevance. And then basically outside of this, you can just go down and say none of these girls mean anything for the rest of the Adelaide girls, which sucks to basically say that for the rest of the year, but it is what it is. And that pretty much is the video. They're going through the last recap for a while, for like 3 or 4 days, till like Sunday probably. Or there'll be one on Friday, but outside of that, it's only one fantasy recap or game recap till Sunday, which is a good thing. And yeah, that's the video between GWS and also Adelaide. If you did enjoy it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be a non-game recap video for the first time in like 10 days. So I'll see you guys in that one. Bye, guys.